Good morning everyone. In today's video we are doing our weekly update, just checking all the different indexes, plus I'm going to do a little bit of a Q&A and answer some pretty important questions that a lot of you have been asking. I've seen you guys in the Discord group, on the Reddit, and just also in my private messages just asking me about some basic questions, and I thought I would just quickly address them and show you. So just the two questions are asking for a house code and is it worth it? Why don't I do my house anymore? And also just essentially how to withdraw your cash in Stepn. So just to quickly go back and get all the numbers. Let's first go here and get the current price of GGT. So token has gone up. Obviously, the little bit of the market's been pumping. So the last 7 days we're up 10%, but overall in the last 30 days we are still down 20%. But we're chilling at 0.19, which if we go to the last time we made this at 0.2, we're just down a little bit, so not too bad. Moving on, we go to GMT. So this one's normally the more important one because this has got to do with the sneaker prices. So 0.64 and we were at 0.55, so we are up compared to last time. Going on to the id.fsl.com, we're entering Stepngo just because I want to see the market price. So we're just going filter, and then we don't care about levels or the amount of mints or commons. We're just trying to get the base price for 90 energy. Whoops. And that's 2058. So we can go there. So it's gone up 2058, which means that with GMT going up and the floor price going up, then that's a good sign in my books. But we can go to uncommons and same thing. We don't care too much about uncommons. We just want to see what the floor price is, and that is 6,500 or 6,499. Okay, so here is your math. So on the breeding maths, if you breed common times common, you are actually making a profit. Last time, it was basically break even. So what I've done is I've adjusted the prices to include, so like essentially the cost to level up your shoes has increased. And whoops, no, it's a GIF. Come back. So you can see the main difference now is at level 10, it now costs 30 GMT for common sneakers, and then uncommons at level 5, it's an extra 10. And we've just incorporated that into the math there. So you can see B3 is times 30, and then on the uncommon ones, it's times 40. And then on these uncommon ones, it's again times 40. So main thing that you can quickly see then is, main thing that you see is commons times commons is now profitable. So that's a really good thing for you guys if you want, because you essentially get a 2 to 3% chance for twins, 2 to 3% chance for uncommons, and essentially if you get your uncommon, you're selling it at 3.5 times the current floor price of a common. So you're making some good money. If you're doing common times uncommon, remember, half of the time you're going to get burnt, but you could be super lucky and just blessed and just get uncommons on uncommons on uncommons, in which case, regardless, you're spending $210 a pop, but on average your profit or your expected return should be about $50 profit, and that's basically accounting for a 50-50 split. Once again, if you guys go back to the market, so runners are at 6,500. If you do get, once again, doubles, or if you get, for example, walkers, the price dramatically increases. So I haven't accounted for that maths yet. But you can just see that in general, instead of 6,500, it's 8,000, 8,700. So the price does, and if you get a trainer, it gets even higher and even more silly, back at like 17,000, but small percentages most of the time. But what you can do with the uncommon times common is you do an uncommon runner, which is obviously the floor price at like 6,500, but then you get a common walker or jogger, and then you try to luckily get the other side of the uncommon, and you can basically increase your odds even more. Uncommon times uncommon, it's currently, because there is no rare, you do kind of get burnt out, and you're on average getting about $2 a pop. On the other hand, this maths. Oh, sorry. This is basically if you just sell the... So this math makes more sense if you just want... So this one is if you open the shoe. So opening the shoebox, you're in trouble. If you don't open the shoebox, you are much more profitable. And then essentially what you're doing is you're just selling the shoebox. So you're selling an uncommon shoebox, which is not popping up right now. Filter, shoeboxes, confirm, 2,500, go to uncommon, bang, 7,500. So you're getting a lot more. So this one isn't even accurate because it's taking B4. In reality, it should be 7,000, and then you can get it a little bit higher. So that's basically selling the chance. But if you're running a mint farm, you do need your shoes. So you can take that with a little bit of grain of salt, unless you sell the shoebox and then buy a new shoe, which is also just very plausible. If you're running like I am and you're just doing, going back to my shoe, you can see here, I've got my walker, level 19, I'm happy. So I burn, what's it called? I will buy a shoe on the marketplace for $132 US, and then I'm expecting to make a return of $190 with an expected profit of $57 US per energy, and I can do that within 2 weeks. So double that is my monthly profit in Stepn, $112, which at the moment is 30%. Now this is why I don't do a house anymore. I used to have 2 house guests that used to run, but the math just isn't there, and I'm going to explain it to you guys now. So if you guys need a gift code and you want to get into Stepn and manage your own shoes, I'm more than happy to help you guys. If you want a house code, unfortunately, I am not your guy. I don't have a mint farm of my own. If you have a house, the only benefit is so that you earn extra mint quotas so that you can get the profit from minting. But if you don't have that, you don't need a house, because one, you got to just wait for the game to change and update so it makes it more profitable. Because having a house right now, unfortunately, means that you basically, instead of earning 150% on an individual shoe like I do, you only earn 100% on a guest shoe. So yes, there's no sore feet, but at the same time, there's no hard feet. And with that, you're basically spending the same amount of money for some energy. And then the expected return, so for example, just going back here, my shoes earn about 11 GGT per energy. If you take away 50% or 150%, you're basically expected to earn about 8 GGT per energy for guest shoe. But you have to give at least 10% to your guests. I was giving 20%. So take away 0.8. So they would be earning 0.8. So the expected profit is in the negative, which is just why I don't run a house myself. And that, yeah, it's very self-explanatory. So going on to the next big question, which is how do you transfer money in and out of Stepngo? What you do is you go into your app. You've been running a lot. So I always do it at around 500 because to me, that's a 1% thing. So you hit transfer out, you hit max, you hit confirm. So I'm going to spend 5 GGT in order to send it out. I need to get the authenticator code. Let me just get that quickly. Cool. So the money's been withdrawn. You can see now here in pending. If it's not in pending, don't worry. What you can do is you exit the Stepngo app on fsl.id or id.fsl, and then you can go back to your main wallet, and in your main wallet you can see instantly within a second it's already there, and from there you can then send it to any of your EVM addresses if you want to send it out of your Stepngo wallet, or you can then just go onto your door and swap it. So for example, if you want to take your profit, you can go just hit swap in app and just quickly see what the exchange rate is. So really not too bad. They're taking it about 0.6. We're losing negative 0.01. So it's not too bad. Like, yeah, we're losing 0.6 US dollars. If you go to door, let's just see if there's a difference, or if this is door. So yeah, these guys are offering you 98.38. And then once again, if we quickly go to Uniswap, continue. Yep. And then we want this. Let's just quickly check Uniswap. So once again, just double check everything. So Uniswap is offering you 99.8, where this is offering us 98.8. So it might be more attractive to run to Uniswap. It's up to you. It's entirely your decision, but that's what I do. The other thing that I do is just, if you want to quickly, you just swap it into GDT, and then you can send that money back, buy a shoe, you know, and you just basically self-sustain your Stepngo adventure. Catch you guys in the next one. Much love. Bye.